I knew that even if I stood right in front of them and told them all of Felix's cruel behavior over the years, they'd only slap me across the face and accuse me of making things up, saying that I was just jealous of him. After all these years, I had gotten used to it. In the middle of their conversation, my older sister, Ashley Goodman, burst into the room. Her footsteps were hurried as she anxiously rushed to check on Felix. The moment she heard about the accident, she immediately flew in from another state without a second thought. And just like my parents, she only cared about Felix. Once she confirmed he was okay, Ashley let out a sigh of relief before fuming. I've always said that Sean is a curse to our family. Ever since Felix was born, he's been hurting him again and again. Felix took the opportunity to act pitiful. Don't be angry, Ash. I'm sure Sean didn't mean to hurt me. The whole family burst into an uproar upon hearing this. Dad slammed the table. What? He actually caused the car accident to hurt you? Mom clenched her teeth. That bastard. I'll make him pay. The look in Ashley's eyes was venomous, as if she wished she could rip me into pieces. Felix flinched, as though he realized things had gone too far and they might start questioning the story. He hurriedly said to them, "Please don't be mad at Sean, okay? Maybe I remembered it wrong. No matter what, he's still my brother. He wouldn't do something like that." Ashley gently tapped his forehead. "You're just too naive. You have no idea how evil some people can be." At this point, Mom chimed in, "It's truly a blessing to have a son like you." "All right, I'll listen to you. Let's forget about that ungrateful brat and focus on getting you well again." The warm golden light of the setting sun spilled across Felix's hospital bed. Watching the four of them together, a happy, united family, I felt an indescribable ache in my chest. In that moment, I realized how out of place my soul truly was. It was as if I wasn't one of them at all, like I was just a stray dog that wandered into their home. I wanted to leave. But my spirit was bound tightly to Mom's side. I couldn't speak. I could only watch and endure their contempt in silence. A few days later, under the family's meticulous care, Felix was discharged from the hospital. Mom was busy packing his things, while Dad had already parked the car right outside the hospital door, afraid Felix might have to walk even a single extra step. And Ashley wouldn't even let him put on his shoes by himself. On the way home, Mom muttered irritably, "Sean is really something else. He didn't even visit his brother at the hospital even once, let alone apologize. I'm going to teach him a lesson once we get home." Dad glanced at Mom and said coldly, "I told you keeping him at home was asking for trouble. Sooner or later, something bad was bound to happen." Hearing the words, "teach him a lesson," left me feeling a complicated mix of emotions. Long-buried memories came flooding back into my mind. Since I was young, Mom had always favored Felix. I was expected to always give in to him. It was all because on the day Felix was born, I had accidentally spilled water, causing Mom to slip and go into premature labor. The sight of him lying in the incubator broke my entire family's hearts. Dad had smacked me so hard that my eardrum burst. "You're a jinx. Your brother nearly died on the day he was born because of you." Lying weakly in the hospital bed, Mom had looked at me with eyes full of disappointment. Then, in elementary school, Dad had beaten me so badly that I couldn't get out of bed for 3 days, just because I fought with Felix over a toy car. It was my favorite toy. Even though it had come as a freebie along with the gift Dad bought for Felix during a business trip, it had become my most cherished possession. But Felix, who already had boxes full of toy cars, insisted on fighting me for that one. In a tug of war, he suddenly screamed and burst into tears. Mom rushed over, distressed, and hugged him while crying and yelling at me, "Sean Goodman, your brother has already suffered so much because of you. What more do you want from him?" It wasn't me. Before I could even explain, Felix squeezed out a few tears and said, "Mom, don't be angry. It was my fault. I shouldn't have made trouble by fighting with Sean over a toy." When Dad got home and saw that scene, he immediately pulled me aside and started beating me.